Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Robbinsville Democratic Club August meeting. We are very happy that you are all here. We are continuing to meet on Zoom. Making sure that everybody has access to access to our meetings, and I hope you are all enjoying the wonderful hot week that we're having this week. I would like to just share my screen for a second, and we will get started with our Pledge of Allegiance. If I can just get to that super duper quick. Present. All right. Can you all see the flag? I hope you can. All right. Shall we rise? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So I'd like to just take a moment to welcome everybody welcome everybody. Thank you for coming. I am, of course, hoping you are all whole and well and doing all the things that need to be done to live healthy and happy lives. There are lots of wonderful, exciting changes that are occurring at the local, county, and state levels for our election season, and we really wanted to take the time to delve into what all of these opportunities are. So this is not we don't have a dedicated special speaker. This is all about getting out the vote. We are going to have updates from officers, but I know the senator is here now, and I would like she's got a lot of going on, as all of our electeds do. So Senator Greenstein, if you'd like to tell us an update, and then we would be happy. We're happy to always to have you here. And then I'm going to stop sharing so we can see you.
Yes.
Arlan, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Oh, and she froze. Okay. All right. We were just complaining about how tech can be a real pain. So, Senator, you can have the floor as soon as you are unfrozen. There you go. There you go, okay. Senator.
I'll try to speak. I can't necessarily hear it, but I'll do my best here. Just Caroline, raise your hand if you can't hear me, because there's no point in speaking if they can't hear me. So just raise your hand if you can. Anyway, I want to thank all of you for allowing me to go first. I'm leaving on vacation for just a couple of days tomorrow. And so I just wanted to get a few words in to let you all know some of the things that are going on. And it looks like Dan is on and maybe Wayne, I'm not sure. We are moving ahead very quickly. Can you hear me, Caroline? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes. Okay, you're all showing us frozen on my screen. I'm glad you could hear. We are moving ahead. We have a campaign manager named Matt Binder, who may be on the call. We just gotten some of the headquarters set up. Not really set up, but we've just begun to get them. One is going to be in Monroe and the other is going to be in Hamilton with the coordinated campaign and the Hamilton campaign. So we'll have a lot of locations and lots of places for you to volunteer. And of course, our campaign manager is the best way, to do that, to be in touch with him. He'll be in touch with you. And we look forward to all of you assisting us in this race. There's no such thing as an easy race, as far as I'm concerned. I think our district, because it has traditionally been a competitive place, really hasn't changed in that regard that much. You have different people running against you, but a lot of the things that held true in the past probably hold true now. So we're going to do a lot of the things that you do. We're going to do door to door. We're going to have mail. The new thing to me, because I last ran in 2017, is that we're going to have a lot of digital content that we'll be putting on. I never had that before, so that's a new thing. In the past, we would do cable TV, but it's not likely we're doing that this time. So we will be doing the digital campaigning online, and you know, you'll be seeing and hearing from us and about us. One of the things that I ask every group I speak to is, if you see our opponents doing anything, let one of us know, whether it's something online or seeing them going door to door or whatever. In fact, the only town where I know my opponents apparently went door to door, maybe only one day, was Robbinsville. I don't know whether he continued that or not. So you could be our eyes on the ground, letting us know that. I know that the chairwoman will be exceedingly helpful, as will the chairman up in Middlesex County, since we're a 2-county district. So, and I am very much looking forward to working with the local races, walking with any of the local candidates, and doing anything I can to be helpful. So, you know, it should be an interesting race. That's all I really have right now in terms.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Senator. And we are very, yes, Matt is on this call. So
Okay.
yeah, so people can reach out to him. He's very gracious to suggest that. I know that Assemblyman Benson is here. Assemblyman Benson, do you want to say hi?
Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's having a good meeting so far. We're just finished leaving the Monroe Democratic Club, and they send their greetings to you, Senator.
Thank you.
And I think the senator really covered, I know the chairwoman's going to talk a little bit about our headquarters, the great news. It's a place everyone should be familiar with from prior years. And Robbinsville is really, really important for us in the 14th district. We know if we're winning big in Robbinsville, there is no chance for our opponents to gain a foothold anywhere. And we have found that Robbinsville increasingly is becoming a place we can rely on for Democratic votes. And so we're not going to take anything for granted. We're going to be working hard. So if you know of community events that we can be out to, as we've come out to various events already, we want to keep that presence up. As the senator mentioned, our opponents are campaigning somewhat. I know in Hamilton, one of the assembly candidates has been putting out literature drops of hang tags in certain neighborhoods, at least 2 that we're aware of. Does not seem to be working off of a list, mostly because they've been leaving the hang tags on very heavily Democratic doors. So we're happy about, you know, the lack of kind of strategy there. But we also believe we're campaigning for everybody, and we're really doing as much as we can to reach out to all voters, whether it's social media, in person, over the phone. And we think we've just got very good message with our democratic values and the things that we've been able to accomplish during the pandemic and where we're going in the years ahead. So I just want to thank Robbinsville for all their support and look forward to running a very strong campaign for this November so that we can continue to build the Democratic Party, not only in Robbinsville, but across the 14th. Thank you so much, Carol.
Thank you, Assemblyman Benson. I hope that you and perhaps Assemblyman D'Angelo and Senator Greenstein would consider coming to our community day. We can reach out to you about that. That's, I believe, September 11th.
Yeah, that's something I've had a booth a couple times too. So
yeah,
we'll have to talk and figure out our presence.
Okay. Just want to quickly mention, I think Community Day is on the 18th of September. So.
Oh, the 18th. Sorry. Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you. Assemblyman D'Angelo, I know that you are, I believe you're also here. Oh, there you are. Would you like to say hi? And if you do want to say hi, you can just unmute and chat, and you can even feel free to interrupt us. Diane, Do you have anything that you would like us to know from your position as county surrogate?
Yeah, we're still not open to the public. We're still doing everything by mail, even though our outer office is COVID protected. We don't have COVID protection in the office for title searchers and people who have to come into the non-public area. So that's our big thing right now. We're only like 1 day behind as far as mail. Switching to campaign mode, it's getting really excited. We are column B on the ballot this November. So far out of 6 times, this is the 4th time I've been column B, so I can't say that it's anything but lucky for hopefully everyone, even though it's column B. I have to show off, hopefully you can see it, but these are our signs. And probably coming in backwards, I'm sorry, but
No, no, it looks good.
this is them. They are available. They can start going up in September. They'll be in the headquarters when it opens, and all the candidates, we all have a little bit of stock for them. Our palm card has been, our chair has done a wonderful job of designing our palm card. It's absolutely beautiful. And I'll let her speak into when it's available, but it's very impressive. So I think that we'll have a nice showcase when we're going door to door. People will get a very good idea what each one of us is about and what we stand for. I look forward to walking in Robbinsville. I did it 5 years ago and I had a good time. And I'm looking to join everyone. You have something coming up, a picnic too or something, don't you?
Yeah. Yes, we do on Sunday.
So I look forward to being there. But as always, Robbinsville, thank you. You've always given me great numbers. I mean, really good numbers. And I know that it'll only get better as time goes on. Thank you.
Thank you. Kristen, you are also on that sign with the
and you know, I am just so honored to have my name listed with Diane's name. I mean, you know, how well has she served Mercer County residents for so many years? To be, you know, to have my name on her sign is really something special. And actually, I think, Diane, the first time I ran, I didn't really know you yet, but I think you were on the first hang tag that we got from the county the first time I ran. So hopefully that is auspicious.
It'll be fine.
So we are fingers crossed.
We'll be fine.
But yeah, I also wanted to thank the chairwoman for the palm card. I can't wait to get my hands on some. I actually would like to start doing some door-to-door of my own up here in Hopewell. You know, Hopewell has not had a county representative other than when Anthony Borelli was there for 18 months in a long time. So I'd like to offer them the opportunity to get one of their own at the county level and let them know that, you know, somebody from Hopewell is running for that. So really excited to see everybody. It's been a great summer and I'm really looking forward to the fall. Fingers crossed that we can continue to move forward to more in-person kinds of things. You know, talk to your friends who are vaccine hesitant and let's knock this thing out so that we can get back to doing what Democrats do best, which is bringing people together. Really, really looking forward to that. So thank you, Carol Ann.
Thank you, Kristen. Just so everybody knows, Assemblyman D'Angelo. Oh, I can see you, Assemblyman D'Angelo, and I am asking you to unmute. It's eluding me how I can get you to have voice here, so I'm very sorry. I'm wondering if you're on your phone, but I'm wondering if you need to connect to audio. There may be a little symbol that you need to connect to audio over data or Wi-Fi. Okay, so if that ever happens, then we'll absolutely have some words from the Assemblyman. Let me go back to gallery view, make sure I can see everybody to make sure that. All right, I'm looking. There's nobody else here that I know we need to chat to before we go into our other part of our meeting. So our agenda, let me just share that screen super quick. We have, I wanted to give us, here we go. Oh, good. Here we are, present. There we go. Okay, so we're going, I'd like to do our short officer updates first. Before then, we take a good concerted amount of time to hear from the county chairwoman and then town council candidate Karen. So Scott, would you like to give us some updates about the work that you've been doing? Thanks.
Sure thing. Thank you, Caroline. And thank you everybody for being here this evening. I don't have much to update. Just wanted to say a few things. We are looking for some volunteers to help with represent the club at Community Day. So basically setting up in the morning, talking about the club, handing out our little prizes and such, during the day, and then helping to take down the tent in the evening. So we're looking for people. I'm going to put a sign up genius in the chat momentarily, and we also are we're starting a food drive. So I don't know, Caroline, were you going to mention that? Okay, sure. Sure. So we're collecting food for the Heightstown, I believe, food pantry.
Yeah, for Rise.
For Rise.
For Rise, that's in Heightstown.
Okay, Rice. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I tried to get in touch with Renee from Robbinsville, but she's on vacation. Sometimes they don't need food, so we figured we'll collect the food and give it to a place we know that needs it. So at the picnic, if you want to drop off food, that's a great opportunity to do that. Otherwise, you can get in touch with Caroline. You can drop off food at her house. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have. So looking forward to hearing from Kieran and Mayor Murdoch. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Melissa, our secretary, do you have anything that you want to update us on?
I guess I just want to encourage everybody to come to the picnic this weekend. I don't know what the numbers are up to yet, Caroline. I know last time we didn't get too many RSVPs, but it's important that everybody RSVP because we're doing it potluck style. So everybody can sign up to bring something and that'll be really fun. I don't know if you talked about the Pride event that we did in June at all. Okay, so I'll just talk about that.
Go ahead.
Briefly. I'll talk about that very briefly. So a bunch of us from the club got together to do a Pride event here in town. It was the first one we've ever done in Robbinsville. And we did it completely without the help of anybody in our government. It was pretty much just a group of us that got together, and we got together with Stephen Quo from Quo Social, and we had a great time, and students came out and spoke, and it was just so motivational and so empowering, I think, for everybody that attended. I think one thing that I definitely want to talk to my other e-board members about going forward, so everybody just kind of keep your ears out for this, we would love to really start creating committees in this club so that we can have more opportunities for people to pitch in and do fun events like that, and do marches or protests when the time comes if we need to, or phone bank, or just have social events.
Can I interrupt? I think Assemblyman Wayne D'Angelo is raising his hand.
I'm pretty much done anyway, but that's it. I just want to, if anybody wants to be on a committee or get more involved, just reach out to us.
Thank you, Melissa. Assemblyman D'Angelo, we'd love to hear from you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, perfect. I think I had just a glitch and I had to log off and then log back on, but sorry for that delay and the problems. And again, if I could just touch base a little bit, you heard the senator and the assemblyman speak, and we just had left Township Monroe, and now we're on campaign mode. And the past couple months, we've been spending time talking to everyone about what's going on at the State House and the work that we've done during COVID in the past year and a half, and the things that we brought to our community. Now we're within that 90-day rule where we can't do mass mailings or information out to the general public through our legislative office like we have historically done before in the past because of the campaign. So we have a campaign manager. Dan talked about our headquarters, and these are kind of the things that are coming up that are important. We focused on about 4 or 5 issues that we're going to do on our mailers to the general public, and let them know what we've done and the things that are out there. But again, there's a lot of hearsay. There's a lot of negative that's going on, and mainly with social media. A lot of bullying on social media and a lot of misinformation. A lot of individuals are empowered by using social media in a negative way. Allows them to make their bullet point statements or quotes and get a pat on the back from those that are there, not really understanding what's happening. So as Dan said and Linda said, when you hear things, bring it to our attention so we can address it. Being in the legislature for the past 14 years, I've learned a couple things. We know we're not going to make everyone happy. There's a lot of compromise, and in the majority of the pieces of legislation that we put together, whether it's working with the governor's office or working with the community and the advocates for and against to bring things to fruition. But, one of the things I like to focus on, if I can, with everyone, is your community is unique to you. And, the issues that are in Robbinsville may not be specifically in Hamilton or East Windsor, Hightstown, or any of the other 9 towns that we represent, the 14th, because the differences of our townships are drastic, whether it's economics, whether it's work-wise, education, age-wise, whatever it may be. And some of the things that make the Democratic Party great, our diversity and inclusion, are sometimes the things that hurt us. And again, we need to sit down amongst ourselves and realize that every part of our party, we don't always get what we want because there's differences internally with us, and we need to respect that compromise that Dan, Linda, and myself in the legislature takes to make good things happen. I've been there, like I said, 14 years, and Linda longer, and Dan only a few years shorter. And we can tell you the challenges that it was working with a Republican governor and having him take away things to hurt our communities in an effort to weaken us. Whether it's properly funding our schools, right? A town like Robbinsville for years, was getting almost next to nothing, and we heard that, and we're like, folks, the governor at the time had this power that he can just go through the budget after we do it and take things out and make adjustments. And that's the negative that happens, that the populace doesn't want to agree. And we have some big things that are happening now, especially now that we're starting to see a resurgence of the virus coming along. I'm starting to see areas like big cities like Philadelphia that are starting to shut things down again because they're concerned about what's happening inside the city. And here, I'm a strong proponent of vaccination, and I believe I saw that how the numbers were coming down, the more people were getting vaccinated. Now we're starting to see an uptake, and I tell a lot of people that are in opposition to this. And even the Republican anti-vaxxers, just for the reason of the time, decided to get vaccinated. Why aren't you to help the health of this nation? So we, I don't want to take up much more time in your meeting. Sorry that we weren't able to be on time as we're running around, and I'm running to another event now, supporting the City of Angels, which is to help and those that are fighting the demons and trying to recover their health from drug addiction. So, there's a lot of things we're balancing, and, as you see things and you see our mailers, criticism is always helpful, allows us to make adjustments as we're going forward. And this body is, let's register people to vote, and let's get people to vote by mail. It's one of the pieces of legislation that I co-sponsored, Brian sponsored, to help make sure that everyone's vote is there and recognized and has the opportunity to vote. So thank you.
Thank you, Assemblyman. I'm very glad that we were able to hear from you, and thank you all of our electeds for your really important work making our county and our towns the best that they can be. I see that candidate Terrence Stokes, he's running for county committee, I believe, is also here. And Terrence, do you want to take a couple of moments to say hi?
Good afternoon, good evening. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
There you
All
go,
right.
Terrence, you're here.
So, so one of the things I've talked about when I was, seeking a nomination is that I actually run a youth football program in Trenton. We actually started up last week. I'm actually on a football field at a practice right now. So I wanted to take an opportunity just to check in and say hello. Definitely looking forward to getting out into Robbinsville and knocking on some doors, developing some relationships, and really getting this campaign going once we hit September. So you guys will definitely be seeing me. You'll be hearing from me, and I'm just excited and looking forward to getting this process going out the way.
Thank you so much, and have a good rest of your practice. We'll see you when we see you.
Now, I'm gonna stay on. I'm just gonna turn my camera off so I can
That's
at least
fine.
hear what's going on.
That's fine. That's great. Thank you. Hold on. Okay. I'm going to try to, we'll just kind of keep making sure that Mr. Stokes is muted. Oh, we have a new treasurer. This is our treasurer report. We have a new one. Her name is Sue Shabilia. She's not here tonight. We're very glad that she volunteered to come in and be part as an appointed member of the executive board. And all of our terms end this fall. So we are going to be, one of the things that we'll talk about more about in a minute is having a nominating committee to elect new executive board members. But let's put a pin in that for a second, because I would love to hear from Sonia, our municipal chair. Anything you want to tell us, Sonia?
So a couple things. I'm gonna steal Chairwoman Miranov's thunder for just a second and congratulate Kieran Agrahara for being one of this year's rising stars in the Democratic Party. So woo! Yay, Kieran. And also to say how proud I am to be Kieran's campaign manager, and am so thankful that he stepped up to run for town council. Really, really happy about that. I think he's a fantastic candidate, and I'm looking for great things from him, and I'm sure we're going to win just based on his early organizational skills. Second, to make sure that everybody knows the party's at my house on Sunday at 2:00. So hope to see anyone and everyone. Bring whoever you want. I'll be here, and we're just gonna have a good time. Third, just to, I know I had mentioned this in an email to Chairwoman Mironov, just a concern that I had. Not that it really is relevant, because we don't have any other candidates, even though I did pick up a mayoral packet. I found out from the clerk that actually July 4th, I believe it was the cutoff for being able to submit electronic signatures for petitions. So it just seems to me that it's rather arbitrary, and because it didn't take into account the nonpartisan towns that their deadline is August 30th for submission of those petitions. So it seems to me that because people were early, deadline is deadline as far as I'm concerned. People who turn them in early, and thankfully Kieran did. So his are all accepted and he's officially a candidate on the ballot. But if somebody wanted to run now, then they're not going to be able to use electronic signatures, even though the pandemic is still in full swing, as we all know. So that was just a concern of mine, in case anybody was still thinking, you still have time to turn them in. But apparently we'll just have to get them signed in person if anybody is. That's it. And I look forward to hearing everyone else.
Thank you, Sonia. Thank you, Sonia. So the couple of things that I wanted to mention, and I do want to share my screen. Yes, we have a rising star in our midst. Let me make this part smaller. So the Rising Stars is both it's a fundraiser and an honoring, and I'm going to scroll gently. So too fast. There is Kieran. We're going to get a chance to meet him more in just a few minutes. The Rising Stars celebration and fundraiser is Wednesday, October 13th. And so it'd be great if we had a table or two from Robbinsville. And I'll send around this information. I want to just make sure that I cover all the things that were already covered. Or cover the things that weren't already covered. So the only thing that we haven't talked about yet is a nominating committee. And a nominating committee is usually about 3 people who are not current members of the board, who talk to other people in our club to see if they want to run for president, vice president, secretary, or treasurer. It's a 2-year term. And we've made it so that we are term limited. We can't run more than 2 terms in a row. Susan and Scott and Melissa all can run in this. We all can run in this election, but Susan, Scott, and Melissa were appointed during this term, so they can run next for this next group, and then of course the next one if they want to. I can run, but only for 1 more term before I'm term limited. I'm looking for somebody who would head this up and then choose 2 other people to help. We usually do the nominations at, I think announce the nominations at the November meeting and vote on them at the December meeting. I think that's what we did 2 years ago. Have to look at our constitution and bylaws. We're still new, and I'm going to be saying that for another couple of years. So if you are at all interested in being a member of the executive board, and you are not already a municipal committee member, please feel free to consider running for a position on the executive board. Just you can email the club or message the club, and we can work on that. And also, somebody please say they want to be on the nominating committee. Thank you. All right, so now I'm going to turn this over to Chairwoman Mirnov. There's been a lot of things happening at the county and state level for Get Out the Vote, and we just really need to hear all of what's going on so that we know for our own selves what we want to get involved in, because we do need to be involved. So Chairwoman, thank you. Would you mind unmuting, please, Chairwoman?
Okay. I actually could have done that. Actually, you can do it before you send that reminder, and then you can only do it through your messaging. So good. So thank you, Carol, and then and Scott for reaching out, and Sonia for your great leadership, and Nushin. Before I get into the campaign, I also just want to congratulate Kieran. I won't go through what you all were kind enough to already promote and put on the screen, but it will be a really exciting event. It will have a great lineup. It'll be a great program, and we've got really, congratulations to Kieran and the 3 other Rising Star honorees. They're really outstanding, exemplary individuals who have really shown dedication to their communities, to the Democratic Party values, and are newer in our organization. And we look forward as they continue to ascend to leadership in office and party leadership and issues initiatives. So thank you, Kieran, and thank you for promoting that. So I do have a number of things I want to hit on. So I'm gonna go in no given order, as you'll see, but hopefully it'll flow well. So I want to bootstrap off, first of all, the county candidates for just a moment in terms of what we are doing there. And then we'll talk about the overall coordinated campaign, and then some of the different voting techniques and mechanisms, some of which are new this year. So for the county candidates, of course, as indicated, we do have the signs in. I do have to take a little pat on the shoulder that Commissioner Frisbee gave me, and he did it publicly at the July 19th meeting. He indicated this is the earliest that county candidates have ever had their signs. And so I'm pleased. We are organized, we're moving forward. And so we will look to be putting out their signs as well as the other candidate signs as we hit September. We also do have a palm card. It's literally on the presses, although I have a pre-copy, and that's our great ticket. The 4 candidates, 3 of whom were on tonight. And then our surrogate is got her own side. So those will be available. I expect by the end of the week. I'm hoping we'll have them to be able to use for canvassing this weekend. The third thing I do want to mention on the county campaign and the campaigns in general is if you could please share through Jason Salvatore any events that are coming up in your community, whether they're political events, party meetings, community events. We are maintaining a calendar for the candidates, so it's really, really helpful. You need to be our eyes on the ground there and let us know what they need to know and where they should be showing up, or if they can get a booth somewhere. So that would be very helpful for us as well. So there was some talk about canvassing and phoning. So the way that the campaign is being set up this year, that won't be exclusive, but it is going to be coordinated, and we are working together on these efforts. First of all, the headquarters that was mentioned. So the county secured the headquarters actually. It is in Hamilton at 1905 Route 33. It's in Concord Square, which is where we have had the headquarters in prior years. So we do have that all signed up. We're just finishing up the Wi-Fi installation and so forth. And that will be available to the coordinated state campaign, to the 14th District Legislative Campaign, to the county campaign, and to the Hamilton campaign. Of course, if you all need something, you let me know, and we'll figure out for Kieran how we can fit any needs that you may have that where the headquarters can be useful. So the way that we are organizing is that in the message that Carol put on the screen, because I might ask her to put it back up. So the coordinated campaign is called Forward 2021. It is being underwritten by the New Jersey Democratic State Committee. It's being sponsored by the New Jersey Democratic State Committee. It's being underwritten through many different sources. And we are trying to work through that in terms of a lot of our efforts. So in the message, there were links. There it is, cool. And there are the links right on screen. So we have already started canvassing. We started a couple weekends ago. We will be doing canvassing every weekend. We'll be doing it both out of the Hamilton headquarters and out of the Princeton headquarters. And if you hit any of those links, they'll give you the times you can sign up, and it'll tell you where you need to show up. So for this weekend, August 14th and 15th, we've got canvassing, which is going out at 1 p.m. As we move along, we'll probably have a couple shifts on the weekend, 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. But for this weekend, that's where it is. So the deal on the canvassing and on the coordinated campaign is that all of the candidates will be promoted when people go door to door. There will be a script that they have. They will be giving out a piece from the governor, and then they will take other pieces with them. And they'll also have a candidate slate card with them. They'll have that both for reference and also, depending what literature they have, that they can also leave at the home. So you put me back so I can see everybody on screen, and okay, I can see if I'm boring folks. Okay, so that's going to be basically how we're going to be doing canvassing, and phoning is going to be in a similar fashion. You will receive regularly from me in my messages every week where you can sign up, what we're doing, where we're doing it from. And so you can always get involved with the coordinated campaign in that means. Obviously, we are going to be doing other activities, but right now we are doing door-to-door canvassing. Kind of nice that we can do it. The way that is going to be done, it is going to be done countywide. We are starting in Princeton and Hamilton. We are going to be going from the most Democratic districts to the least Democratic, just a priority. But the intention is to hit every district in the county. These are volunteer canvassing. There is going to be a program through the coordinated campaign. There will be some paid canvassing. It will be in Trenton, in Mercer County, and there may be some additional districts that are added in Hamilton and Ewing. But for the most part, this is a volunteer effort. But this is how it is being coordinated. And again, it's for all of the candidates from top to bottom. Now, I know one of the questions that you're going to ask in Robbinsville, so let me try to address it right now before I move on to some other voting information. So you are nonpartisan. And actually, I found out about the petition issue first in West Windsor, which is your partner in this nonpartisan structure, in terms of the fact that the electronic signatures had expired. So there is a challenge. The coordinated campaign cannot totally merge you into their efforts because you're not a Democrat. You can't run as a Democrat. You're not going to appear on the ballot as a Democrat, and you're not going to be in column B where the Democrats are. So we need to talk about how we can be helpful. Now, I do have an understanding with them that when they are doing canvassing in Robbinsville, if you have a local candidate piece, Kieran, that they will add that and take it along, with the people that are canvassing. We can also see what else we can do. I mean, I want to be helpful. So we'll have a direct meeting to see how we can be helpful. But just even as an example, last year when we did the door hangers for the election, now, I don't know who's going to be doing and paying for them yet. So that may create some other complications, although we can always separate some of it out. But just as an example, last year, when we did the door hangers, what I did is I put the Democratic ticket in West Windsor. I put the Democratic ticket on one side and I put their local ticket on the other. So, I was able to do that because obviously they were in column C5 or something on the ballot, and they're also not running as Democrats. They're not allowed to. And so there is an elect issue. We got to be careful, in terms of reporting, as well as just the logistics of your local candidate and what, how you're allowed to run. So happy to have further discussions on that, but I figured I would just address it here in Robbinsville. We will be doing other activities. We'll talk about them, as we go through the campaign. But let me just talk about a couple of other subjects that are of interest. So one of the things we're going to also be doing through the coordinated campaign is a vote by mail program. And in fact, they will be signing people up to vote by mail when they knock on doors. Part of the instruction for the canvassers, if the people are clearly voting Democratic, they're going to try to get them to sign up for a vote by mail ballot. Obviously we're, great citizens. We want everyone to vote, but, we want to particularly have the people vote that are voting for us. So we're not going to do obviously anything negative, but, we are obviously there to be more assisting to those. We will be pushing vote by mail. It is the philosophy of the coordinated campaign that they would like to get as many votes in through vote by mail, figuring they're in that way. You don't have to get people to come out in person. So that is the philosophy of the coordinated campaign, and they will be pushing vote by mail at the doors. And then we'll have a VBM Chase program, We did that somewhat last year as well. Actually, the county did sponsorship of some of that, as well as in conjunction with some of the towns where we were supportive. But there will be a follow-up using the state information. The van is able to track the vote by mail ballots. And so there will be a chase, BBM chase program through the coordinated campaign. We'll talk more about that when we get to it. The other and obviously the drop boxes, or all the drop boxes that were there before, remain in our communities. We obviously encourage people to use those instead of the mail. They're more dependable and they are secure and safe. Another area that I want to bring up, because I think it changes a little bit the face of a campaign and the timing of the campaign. So this is the first year in New Jersey that we're going to have an early voting, an early in-person voting process. So I want to talk about that just a little bit. So the way that the state law works is that the voting is for 9 days prior to the election, so that basically it will begin on Saturday, October 23rd, and it will go through Sunday, October 31st. So those will be the days of early in-person voting throughout the state. And there are hours that are actually set up for that. All that will be shared, but it's my understanding that the Monday through Saturday are 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. and the Sunday is 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Now, the locations. So the Board of Elections in Mercer County actually just finalized the locations in the last couple of days, so I will share them. They will be, obviously, all of this will be posted on the Mercer County Board of Elections site. We'll share the link on that, or you can locate that and share it. But if I can remember them, I will go through them. So there are actually, the state required in Mercer County 5 to 7 early voting locations. So we're going to have 8 in Mercer County. The state will pick up 7. The county will pick up the 8th. The locations, let's see if I can get these. So one will be at the Courtyard Marriott in Hamilton on Route 130. Another at the Hickory Corner Library, Hickory Corner Road in East Windsor. The Cure Arena in Trenton. The library in Lawrence on alternate 1. The shopping center on Harrison Street in Princeton. The hotel at the airport in Ewing. I think it's called Elements or something of that kind. The Pennington Fire House on Route 31. And I'm missing one, which might be the county college. I'll take a look while I'm on. So there are 8 sites total. Obviously, they'll be posted. But when you discuss them with people, remember that people are not necessarily going to vote in their town. They can vote on the way to and from work, to and from picking up their children from anywhere while they're going shopping. And so it was important to have them distributed and have them accessible. But at the same time, it's not a matter of whether it's convenient within the town totally. Now, for Robbinsville, obviously, you've got 2 sites that are not very far. You've got the Hickory Corner Library in East Windsor, and you've got the Courtyard Hotel on Route 130 in Hamilton across from Market Fair. So that's basically the program. And again, that will be, on the website, I would expect pretty soon, and all of the regs on that. So just quickly, I don't want to become the technician on early voting, but a lot of people are asking, how does it work? There is a lot of expense that has gone into this. So they did have to put the registration books, make them electronic so that obviously they were usable throughout. So there will actually be a laptop that will have access to the voting book. Somebody will go in, they'll give their name. Their voting registration will be located. There's a way that they sign and, initial and verified. And then they're given a little doodad that they take over to the voting machine. It pulls up the ballot, and they can either touch screen or print it out. But even if they touch screen, they're going to print it out, and then it goes into a scanner, and it gets tabulated and secured, and you go away. So again, I'm not the technician, so don't ask me any tricky questions. But I think it's interesting just to have some overview of how that will work, because you'll probably get questions on it in terms of, well, how can they have all of the towns at one site? Because that's going to be the deal. Every one of these 8 sites, anyone from Mercer County will be able to vote there. And so, it needs to be set up in a way that accesses the registrations and the ballots, because the ballots are all different for each town, for each of the municipalities. And the tallying also will be set up to cover all of the municipalities, so that when it goes through the scanner, it will automatically tally for whatever municipal race, whatever legislative race is involved. So it's new, it's different, kind of interesting, but we should take advantage of it. I think it's really important for Democrats to come up with a strategy to make really good use of that. We'll obviously be discussing that in the county. The coordinated campaign will be discussing that, and we'll hope to discuss that more with you. But it's something that your local campaign, should give thought to as well. In some areas, I know they're even talking about setting up, after an event, after a service, to, transport folks and that kind of thing. So, also, you may want to have flyers, especially for your neighborhoods, that promote their early voting. I have encouraged a couple of towns to devise a flyer that is not partisan. It doesn't have candidates, so that if you have locations, that it's helpful if there's a nonprofit group or a church or a synagogue that you want to try to get to distribute that, where it might be helpful for your candidate or candidacies. You need to have a flyer that's informational, not candidate driven or partisan driven. So if I see one that does that, I'll also share it, throughout all of the communities. I'm sure we'll have something that is able to do that. So I think that's, I think those are the main things that I wanted to hit on. Obviously, we'll have things going on all the time through the campaign, but I think it provides at least some overview. We are at this point really encouraging people to go through the coordinated campaign and sign up. We are working as partners. They're going to take our stuff. And if we find that, that's not working as well, we'll come back and, go back to our own signups or whatever else. Whenever they are going into a town, it is done in coordination with the locals. So it's not like the coordinated folks are just walking in. They notify for example, they're going to be in Princeton and Hamilton this weekend. There will be notification that goes out to, the local Hamilton leadership and the Princeton leadership and candidates that they will be canvassing, so that, they will be aware. They can make sure that they are coordinating with them in any way they want to. And that will go on throughout the county for all of these efforts. So I think that that's it. So get involved, it's important. And, maybe the one other comment I'll make or two. So, that we haven't reelected a Democratic governor since, is it Brendan Byrne, I think? And so, we want to break that curse in New Jersey. And we want to make sure that we get out. We reelect Phil Murphy and Sheila Oliver, as well as all of the other candidates up and down the ballot. And of course, in Robbinsville, we want to make sure that we support and elect Kieran, and if anybody else is promoted in the remaining time. And so we want to be good partners in initiatives and strategy that can help focus that goal as well.
Thank you so much, Chairwoman. There's so many things going on, and I really appreciate you taking the time to support us and to support all the candidates and tell us how we can do that. We're going to move now to learn more from Kieran, and I'm going to pin you, and you have the ability to share your screen. So we would love to hear from our town council candidate.
Thank you, Carol. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes. Yep, we can.
I have to change it to presentation mode. Yeah, before I start, I would like to thank the Mercer County Democrats for the recognition.
If I can just, West Windsor Community College is the last site, just so that could be helpful too. I'm going on mute.
Thank you, Chairwoman.
Thank you, Mercer County Democrats for the recognition, and I'd like to see more and more of us get involved in their respective communities. And this is my first time running for any elections, right, in my lifetime. So this is new to me, but I have a great group of people. I would like to thank I would like to be thankful to, like Notion is one of them. And Sonia, of course, has always been, she's my campaign manager. She's helped me put a lot of these stuff together. And there's another person I would like to like to be thankful to is John Finnegan. Is not in the meeting today, and also my one of my friend Siva was probably listening. So a bunch of us were brainstorming, and this is the plan that I would like to present on on my campaign plan. It's a quick presentation. So what I did was the first thing I wanted to do was understand the demographics of Robbinsville. So I found out that there are about 11,000 registered voters, and it's interesting that there are 4,600 unaffiliated more than the Democratic candidates count, right? 3,500. And then usually elections like this, we have a turnout of 35 to 40%. And my estimation is that at least I need at least 3,000 to be on the top, right? And I'm counting on this 3,000 number mainly to come from the Democratic base and the unaffiliated groups. Some of the campaign materials I'm thinking to put together is one of the challenges is the fact that there's a low voter turnout. I would like to focus on also getting people, sending the message out to people to get out and vote. So that way, I can get more people to vote for me. So I have business cards which focus on get out the vote business card, the typical yard signs and postcards and door hangers. And one of the things I did this time was put a QR code on all the campaign materials. I mean, you can try it now. If you point your camera on that QR code, it opens up, it points to my website, campaign website. And thanks to Melissa for putting that campaign website together in a record amount of time. I think she did it over the weekend. The first draft was ready before she went out on vacation. Thanks, Melissa, for that. So that website will have all the resources. Like I put a voter resources on that website where if people want to register to vote, or if they want to look up their polling locations and whatnot. So that way they don't have to go to the NJ site to look for resources. So that's that QR code is pretty powerful. You just can point out any camera from phone or any camera from my tab would do the magic. And community festival, I plan to hand out campaign branded water bottles, and during Halloween plans are to hand out branded Hershey bars to kids and engage in conversation with the parents one-on-one, because typically the town center Halloween is a big celebration. I don't know how the turnout is going to be this time, given the fact that some of the cases, the cases are on the rise again. I put a team together. Campaign manager is Sonia, as you all know, and I also have a small team assembled, about 12 to 15, I think, and I have to create a WhatsApp group. And then we have to identify some lead or volunteers in all the 9 zones. I'm a bit paranoid and bit, I don't know how to say this, since I'm going against a team of incumbents who've been in this town for a long time, and since I'm the new face, it requires a lot of efforts and I cannot do it alone. So I'm trying to reach out to as many people as I can to help me win this election. Some of the strategies, it's a combination of both social media and in-person door-to-door campaign. As usual, utilize email to reach the target voters and also drive target demographics to website, and mobilize a lot of volunteers to get out the vote message and see if there is, if they want to register. I don't know, plan is to have tablets ready, and then if somebody needs help registering, they can just, register people to vote if they're not registered. And then also one important strategy in this for my campaign is the concept of bullet voting. We are going to elect a mayor and 2 council person this time. The fact that I'm not running a slate, it's just me. I have to make sure that folks who vote for me just vote for me. The fact that they have 2 votes, they shouldn't be using that second vote to pick one of the incumbent candidate, which means we are like subliminally getting them more votes. So that's an important message I need to drive out this time to the voter base, that they have to remember that they have to treat it as their 1 vote, and that vote has to be for me. So I have to kind of figure out a way to send that message across to the entire voter target. And also leverage, there's a lot of folks who are already started donating to my campaign, and thank you all for that. And I'm going to make sure that I'm going to leverage a lot of residents' desire who wants to see change in this township, so that they could help me win this election, which means I need to get some do some fundraising as well. Any questions so far? Some of the events I have planned, obviously the picnic coming up next weekend. And then there's a community day on the September 18th. And I'm still working on more events in every district, like meet the candidate events, try to talk to some of the key residents in that particular community, or try to talk to the business leaders to use their facility to host some of these events. Finally, volunteers, I need a lot of them. You could help me in many different ways. You can spread the word. The business cards, they really come in handy with a QR code. You don't have to do a lot of work. You can, I'm also working on a 30-second pitch, or a 3-minute or a 30-minute pitch. You can use any of them depending on the situation. And also we can help me in door-to-door campaign, so that, we could divide and conquer. The volunteers have to increase awareness of my candidacy, and also send the bullet, educate the concept of bullet voting across the voters base when they go door to door. And then meet the candidate events, help me raise funds for the campaign. And another important thing is a lot of us have been in this town for a long time, and we all have our own ideas on good ideas on how to make this township better. So please help me create content to put it on social media. You can directly email the content to me, or you can send it to Brian Hayes, or you can send it to Sonia. So I need a lot of content with ideas, right? Positive, constructive ideas on how to make the town better. And the last and most importantly, we all have to, help me win. It is a collective effort. It's not an individual effort at this time. I think, oh yeah, one last slide. Platform points, right? These are some of the points my campaign will be running for. We need to make sure that our town will be more inclusive and diverse and diversity. Which means, we need to get the township government to establish a diversity, equity, and inclusion committee. There are a lot of people who are capable of, heading that committee, and then look for grants on how to make this town more inclusive and more diverse, right? And then sustainable Robbinsville, and establish a sustainable committee, to look at what we can do better, better use of open space. It's a great town, but we lack a lot of biking paths or biking routes or walking path. We have a lot of open space, but that open space is simply there. We're not using it for any other purposes. So I think we need to start looking in how we can make Robbinsville more walkable and more bikeable, right? And that's some of the initiatives I'm thinking. And most importantly, transparency from the government, right? Transparent Robbinsville. I've been hearing that the council meetings are held at a time where most of the residents can make it. They're either on the train or either on their way back to home. So it's nearly impossible for everybody to be at the meetings, right? And then also some of the information, it's very difficult to find or even get from the township. That transparency should be there. We have to find information pretty easily. Also, some of the agenda to be posted well ahead of time. And I am trying to read the budget, and looks like somebody needs a PhD to make sense out of the budget, right? It helps to have a more transparent budget, and more than transparency, it's a simple budget which every resident can understand. So this is my plan and strategy to win this election. Any other questions? And one last comment I would like to make is I would also like to thank Nausheen. She's, everybody knows Nausheen. She introduced me to a couple of people, great people who have been very much involved early on in planning all of this and putting this presentation together as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Kieran. Thank you, Kieran. We're so glad you're running, and we will do all we can to help you in this really, really important endeavor for our town. We've come to the part of our meeting where we open it up to people to chat, to tell us things that are happening in your area that we didn't actually get a chance to address earlier. I want to say that Allison Sussman, who's been on this call for so long, she was one of the organizers of the Pride event, and she said that she's happy to be involved in any way that she can, and we're very, very glad for that. So anything from anybody? I know Amanda had something. She had to drop off the call, but I can go ahead and talk for her in this effort. Nope. Okay, so one of the things that has come up in town is the rise of anti-masking of children in schools. There's a set of parents in town that are very unhappy with the fact that the governor has mandated masking for K-12 kids, and that is. That doesn't make sense to me. So what we would like, what Amanda did was create a letter that people can personalize and send to our superintendent to help bolster his confidence in supporting the governor to keep our children safe. This is the link sharing to the document. It's only going to be available, this link will expire in 2 days. So you can go ahead and download the letter, cut and paste what you want to do that. And I can get the email addresses of the board members. Hold on, I know where that is. So that's one thing that has been that one very concrete way that we can support our superintendent, so that people can not have, so that our students can be safe. I don't understand what the problem is here. Anyway, you can contact board members via this website, and also on that website you'll be able to find Superintendent Betts's email address. I
have a question.
Yes, Sonia.
So I have not been to the Board of Ed meetings recently, or actually in the past few years, probably. My children are grown, but that doesn't mean that I'm not concerned, certainly. So I'm just curious. I know I've seen a bunch of stuff floating around. A lot of it I don't pay attention to because it just seems like the musings of insane people. But what, other than we don't like it and nobody likes it, what is the big deal about the masks for these people? I mean, what is their main argument?
You can't tell me what to do.
Ah, really? Pay your taxes. Oh, shocking.
It's pretty much that.
You can't argue with stupid.
Yes, so there's an organization that is actively promoting certain ideologies, and we keep hearing that they're showing up. And for those of us who've been going to the meetings, the same group keeps showing up. They haven't done anything yet. They haven't said anything yet, but we keep hearing that they're going to promote certain ideologies that aren't the most democratic or inclusive. And then the individual people do come up and say things like, the masks are affecting our children's mental health. And they're very much against it because of their children's right to their bodies and their right to their lives. And they feel that the masks are keeping their children from living happy, independent lives. So far, that's where they are. No one really has popped up and said anything else. It's just a few people complaining about masks. We're keeping an eye on it. We're just listening to see which direction a particular group is going in and what they want to push, what initiatives they're pursuing.
You know, when I was in school, and I don't remember if some of you older folk remember this, but when I was in school, we had to wear these heinously ugly gym uniforms. And let me tell you, there was something that was going to make you feel god awful about yourself. It was those heinously ugly gym uniforms, but we had to wear them. You didn't have your gym uniform clean, you couldn't play gym, you got a 0 for the day. So you know what? This kind of thing goes on all the time. Do you think that maybe there should just be this kind of, when you know that there's going to be people that are really just get an organized effort of having 50 new faces sitting there with arms folded, listening to them, and then all getting up to counter?
We've been doing that.
Yeah.
Yes. There's quite a lot of us showing up, which is so great. I get it. Everyone is busy. You have families, you're working. But when people can show up, just show up. These meetings are very long. Sometimes they're 2 hours in length. They're not like the quick 15-minute council meetings. However much time you have, pop in, however long you can stay, do come in. Also, one important connection that certain parents are not making is that if you want your children in school, wear masks. But not only do they want their kids in school, they don't want to wear masks. Well, guess what? School will be shut down because of Delta if we're not wearing masks. That's it. And the kids don't have a problem with masks. My 13-year-old is okay with it. She's like, good, no one can see my face. I like to be anonymous. So what's wrong with masks? I mean, they're fine. They're showing up to school. They're seeing their friends. They're fine.
The only argument I've heard
It's just
is I just heard an argument about some of the special needs children because they can't see just facial expression. They can't mimic it, and they get confused. But don't they have transparent masks for that sort of thing?
I'll donate. If someone wants to buy them and donate them, I will make a donation. I mean, we have ways to make life inclusive and welcoming for everyone. So whatever, I've got $20. Who wants? I'll make a donation. That's it.
So the discussion about special children with communication disorders not being able to read facial expressions and things like that under masks, it is yes, but it's also a bit of a red herring, because at the times that you need to have the ability to read facial expressions is more in one-to-one situations where you can better control the environment. But when you're in en masse, everybody's facing in the same direction, then, that's it. Like, just wear the mask. There are some children who cannot tolerate wearing masks. People who are medically fragile and things like that, total fine. Those are on the bell curve. We're talking about the people way down here. We really need to target those 3 standard deviations in the middle. That is the majority of people. And if the majority of people are masking, then these special exceptions way down here, we can probably manage. But there's a lot of push to go against the governor's mandate for masking. And I think that's ridiculous. And I really want to support our superintendent because I think he may be having some Gumby moments. So yeah, to support. Yes, Nushin.
Hi, guys. By the way, Kiran, you're welcome. I just wanted you guys to know that the conversation today at the hospitals are from August 23rd. We are going back to only doing the tests that and surgeries that is necessary. Every patient who's going to come for surgery is going to have COVID test done. And all the mothers who are going to have babies are going to have COVID tests. And we are going back to the same situation, and everybody's panicking because we are very short. The situation is really worse than before because many people retired, left, or died on the job. So I just wanted you guys to know from a healthcare point of view, it is bad. And we are going back exactly where we came from. We had 2 people before, and now at the hospital that we only had 0, now 2, and now today we had 11. So it's going up, just to let you guys know.
We're holding everyone we can in our hearts for a speedy recovery and a full recovery. And we're holding all of our healthcare workers in our hearts too.
Thank you.
Yeah. So anybody else have anything that they want us to address or talk about before we end our meeting? Our next meeting is the second Wednesday. I practiced that all day today. Second Wednesday of September. It'll be after the start of school, so a lot of these things will have been handled, at least regarding the school stuff. Anything else from the good of the group?
Hi.
Hi, Scott.
Can you hear me? Yeah, so just one thing, I think that it would be great if we had some member of the committee, but the superintendent put hold on one second. Can you hear me?
Not really, Scott. We're having trouble hearing you.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, sorry.
Thank you. We love
can you hear me now?
technology.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, so I believe the superintendent had some sort of committee that you could join for in diversity and inclusion teaching, incorporating the diversity and inclusion and in the curriculum. What was the name of that particular committee? Do you remember?
No, I don't.
Okay.
But it was a short-term committee that I think he already ran. I don't think it's.
Oh, okay.
I think he was planning on doing a series of these things with different groups, but I think that particular one has already been. I think it's been established already, and I know some of the people on it. Amandira is on it, so
okay.
if he's on it, I'm not worried.
Great.
But yeah,
that's good.
Yeah.
Good. Wonderful. Okay.
That's
all.
The
That's all.
equity committee, and
Yes.
they've already chosen.
It was the equity committee.
And they've already chosen, they were instructed to choose one person who was from the community, some teachers, they've already chosen them. But if you want to participate in the future, they'll hold your name for something else.
Perfect. Thank you, Rocky.
Right.
That's all I had. Thank you.
And those people who are interested in serving on committees that need parent or town people can email the superintendent, Dr. Chu. She's the one who usually puts together these committees. All right. And you don't have to have a child in the school district. You just need to live in the school district. There's a role for everybody. So anybody else have any?
I just wanted to say that I did send a message. I did not get any reply back. So I really do think it depends if you have child in the school, because I was denied, or maybe because my name is Nushin, that or something else. I have no idea, but I was denied. So I don't know what they are saying, but somehow I don't believe it.
Well, you and I also served on a committee 2 years ago. So maybe they want to give new people a turn. Who knows?
I have no idea. As I said, I have no idea, but I'm just saying I did send it, but I was not even answered back. So I have no idea.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else? Yes. Yes, Yan Mei.
I just hearing what Kiran said about the candidacy and the situation in Robbinsville, and I'm from West Windsor. I just want to share some similarities between our township. We are the other nonpartisan township in Mercer County, and we too are the only two nonpartisan townships in Mercer County, and we're on the same boat. We only have one candidate for 3 slots. In the Democratic side, and the leaderships are all Republicans, and we're not getting any Democrats. Repeated requests to be appointed on committees and township boards and committees, things like that. So yeah, I see this. We can definitely exchange experiences, under the leadership of our committee chair, Janice, Marinoff. She has a lot of experience with all this elections in nonpartisan townships. So glad to hear about all these similar situations in your township. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Anything else for the good of the group? No? All right. Have a lovely night, everybody. It was wonderful seeing you. Hope to see you all on Saturday. Or Sunday. Sunday.
See you all. Good night. Great to see you all too. Good. Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
I got to remember to sign in and out. So, okay.